So I'm here. I just bought this. This is the Pandora Key 7. I bought it on eBay. Maybe I could bring the listing up inside my phone. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys what this has, what the menu's like. Some of the other people posted videos for Pandora Key 7, and they don't have the same menu as this does. And what I'm really interested in is how to add more games to this. I tried the methods that are for the other Pandora keys, sorry, not the Pandora keys, but for the Pandora boxes. And I don't know, I couldn't get those to work for this. This one is the Pandora Key 7, and I guess it's not from 3A, so it's a bootleg. And I guess this is it's got a nice Dragon Ball Z layout on the buttons. And for the joysticks, you can see kind of the art. This is the one I picked. There was like 14 of them to pick from, and I picked this one, and I was hoping it wouldn't have the skin peeling off, but I've had it for like a week and it's already got the skin peeling off. The buttons are clicky. They're kind of light though. They don't feel like they're really high quality like the ones at the arcade. But they're still nice. You could still play nice games with it. So right here, what I'm showing you is this menu. When you're on the main menu and you are going through games, if you want to go back one step, you push coin and start, and it brings up this menu. Now this is what's nice about the Pandora Key 7, this version, is that all the games are split up into alphabetic order, as you can see on the right side of the page. They're all selected through alphabetical order, so I'm trying to find Killer Instinct Gold. I want to show you how that plays. So here we go, Killer Instinct Gold. So this game has some problems. For example, I think you can only play it with 2 buttons, and you can't configure the controller. And there's a part where when you actually try to play the game, right here, as you can see, when you're selecting your dude, the screen is just flashing like that, and I haven't been able to get that to fix by closing the game and restarting it or anything like that. It just stays kind of broken like that. And then let's show you the controls on it. So here, so only 2 buttons work. Sorry, 4 buttons. It's not 2 buttons, it's 4 buttons. I guess that one doesn't work. This only does actually work with 2 buttons. The 2 that are mapped are the ones on the bottom. There's a kick and a punch, and then the other buttons don't work. The other 4 aren't working. It's just these two that are mapped right here. There's a kick and a punch. Here I can push coin and start again while I'm in the level. It brings up this menu and it's like pausing it. You can do that for like a couple minutes, but if you leave it for longer than that, it'll reset the game to the main menu. So you can't really use this as a method of pausing a game if you want to just save your progress or something, because this doesn't have the ability to save like the other. There was a arcade box super somebody made a video of that's like a Pandora's Key 6, and that one I guess has the ability to save, but this still doesn't have the ability to save. It just lets you bring up this menu, and you can, the most you can do is pause it for like a minute or 2. If you go to like 3 or 4 minutes, it'll reset to the main menu. But this menu is nice to pop up just so that you can take a break for a second while you're in the middle of a game, if your hands start hurting from playing Street Fighter too much or something. So that's one good thing about this little menu. You can bring it up in the middle of the gameplay, and then it helps you just exit out of the game. Push B, you exit back to this menu, and then you can press it one more time, and then it goes to this indexing mode. And what indexing mode has all the games split up in alphabetical order, as you can see. And then on the left side of the page, you have them split up into categories: fighting, action, shooting, sport, puzzle, and racing. It says 0 racing games right there. Yeah, that's right, in a way, but it doesn't have 0 racing games. It does have F-Zero X on here. So let me show you how that game plays. So here's F-Zero X from N64. It's ported from N64 onto here. The controls are really hard with the joystick, and the game plays really fast. So I don't know if you've ever played F-Zero or not, but the game plays really fast. There's a lot of movement and graphical content, and I never beat F-Zero, but I've gotten pretty far on the regular F-Zero 1 on NES. I mean, I was okay at the game. I'm not the best, but here I could show you how the controls work with this game. And so I'm glad it doesn't upset anybody that likes racing games and says 0 games. They're not going to buy it now because it says that, but it does have racing games. It has this one at least. But again, you see me controlling it with one hand. That's how quick F-Zero moves, and it's really hard to control. This one a little better than I thought. I thought it'd be total crap and just crash to death, but there we go. It's still fun. I think it's fun. That's the best I could do with one hand. Okay, and now I'm gonna go back to the menu and show you some other games. So this is one thing I'm showing it for, is because the other videos on YouTube for Pandora Key 7s don't have the same menu as mine. And so some of them commented on their videos or posted descriptions inside their videos for how to add games to their Pandora Key 7. I tried doing that. As you can see, this has a USB stick in it, but I can't get any of the games to show up in this menu. I added like Mega Man 8, I think, from PS1 or one of those, and I can't get it to come up. And then I try to add a Final Fight ME file. Still can't get those to show up. So here's some other things that are different about this, or are wrong with this, actually. I don't want to deter anyone from buying it. It's still a pretty cool system. I have a lot of fun with it, even though I've had it for like a little bit, about a week. It does have a pretty good game list. That's mainly why I bought it, because it had Tekken 6 and none of the other ones had Tekken 6. They only had like up to Tekken 4 or something for Pandora Key 9S. I don't know, but yeah, if you guys really like your Pandora's box, comment on the comments below and let me know which Pandora's box is the best, because I've looked at a ton of the videos for tutorials on it, and I'm still not really sure, because no one really talks about what games are on there in bulk. You have to kind of download the game list and look through it yourself. Some of the game lists have a lot of the same games, even for the different Pandora boxes from 3A. I guess this one's a Pandora Key. I don't know if it's from 3A or not. Well, it's not. That's at least what one of the sites was saying. But I was hoping it was. As you can see, it's got like Puzzle Fighter 2 on here. That's really cool. I love that game a lot. And it's a fun game to play. But, yeah, and then you can see it does have some of these different versions of Street Fighter. It even has Super Street Fighter. But then there's like Champion Edition. There's like Hyper Fighting Turbo, Hyper Fighting. This is like a bootleg. The Street Fighter bootlegs I thought were going to be a lot of fun, but I started playing one, and I saw how hard they are, because in some of these versions you can actually change characters by pressing the start button. I don't know if anybody knows that for a lot of these bootleg Street Fighters, but that's why I bought this thing. I love those Street Fighter games. I used to play in that Golfland. I don't know if you're from California, you know what Golfland is, but Golfland was the arcade back in the day. And right here you can see, okay, this version doesn't have it. I'm trying to find a version that has where the characters change when you press the start button. Street Fighter 2 bootleg. Let's try this one. Okay. And another thing is, they put Street Fighter 4 all over the arcade sticks of the Pandora box. And I think they even have a system called the Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 is not on any of the Pandora boxes as far as I know, and it's not on here. It's only up to Street Fighter 3 that's on here. So I don't know why they put so much Street Fighter 4 stuff on their stuff, on their controllers and on the labels of the menus. I've seen it, and it's a big bummer though. Yeah, Street Fighter 4 is not on here. I wish it was. That would be sick to play a 3D Street Fighter game on one of these mods or emulators, but not the case. It does have all the King of the Fighters, the similar ones. But as you can see, something I would add to Pandora's box would be a search. I get tired of browsing through all these games. But at least it split it up into categories, so I could go to S to get quickly to the Street Fighters. Let's find one of the versions that has what I'm talking about. Set 2, what is this? Again, this is the menu right here. See that? It just did the bug that I was talking about for this game. This is one of the ones. See, before I even got a chance to play the game, and I have to hate talking over this thing. Another thing, I wish it had a volume switch. This is one of the newer ones, but it doesn't have a volume switch. So what you just saw was, I started playing the game. It took me to Chun Li's level, and then all of a sudden it showed me dead with 2 pluses for Balrog on Chun Li's level, and all of a sudden he's ripping his shirt off and you're dead, and it says he beat you twice, but you haven't even pushed a button yet. So I'm glad it showed you that bug. That's the kind of stuff you got to deal with dealing these bootlegs. See that? See how my character's switching? I'm just pressing the start button. That makes it really hard when you're playing, because other people will or actually the computer will change characters too. I can shoot them with Bison, I think, at least. I can't even play one player or whatever. I'm just trying to show you that the characters can change in the middle of the game. And so when you're playing, all of a sudden Chun Li turns into Sagat, and now you're playing a boss, and the bosses are really hard in Street Fighter, especially in the arcade. That's why I wish this thing had a save, because these tournaments are so hard for this game, for the arcade. Having a save would really help. You don't have to sit there cramping up from sitting so long just to play through the games, and then you could save them, and that would be great. You could do that for ROMs. I wish you could do it on here. Again, if you want to see that, I'm just pushing start and my character is changing. Look, it says E Honda at the top, but my character's who's that? What's his name? Blanca. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff you deal with. I can't really play this one-handed and show you, but that was the main thing I wanted to show you, is that you can change the character on those bootleg Street Fighters, and it's kind of fun playing that way. I like that. You could also throw fireballs in the air. I wish I could do all those moves with one hand, but I can't, so I'm not even going to try. But yeah, you can do fireballs in the air. Sometimes when you throw the fireballs, they go up and down if you throw one with a jab. And then throw in with a fierce, it goes super fast. Same thing with the sonic boom. Chun Li also does a kick. I think in the earlier fight, she does a kick, and all of a sudden a fireball comes out. I could do a Blanca. I was able to do. There we go. I can play a little bit with this. When's this going anyway? Chun Li gonna turn into anybody? Turn into Guile. Unless you guys saw it when she turned into Balrog and killed me. That was the bug I want to show. Because this only let me play one person there. She turned into Guile. And Guile's cheap as hell too in this version. So what was this? Champion Edition Set 2? Yeah, you know what these games were called? I used to play them at Golfland in California, I'll tell you. We used to have arcades called Golfland. I think they still have Golfland. I haven't been in one in years, so I wouldn't know what games they have in their arcade. Arcades are kind of gone now, so you don't really see them. But once in a while, there's places that you can play games at, arcade games like Dave and Buster's and stuff. But yeah, Golfland had every game, and they had a lot of the bootleg Street Fighter, so that's where I played these games before. And also at like liquor stores and stuff. I think one other place I played it was like at a pizza place. That's how I knew about pushing start and changing the players. But here you can see the gameplay. See how fast that hurricane kick went across the screen? Boom. Look how fast that gameplay is. So yeah, that's what you got to deal with when playing these Street Fighters, and then losing your... If it was quarters, then you would be losing your quarter just by selecting a player, and before you even had a chance to throw a punch, you saw Balrog killed me, and I was back at the screen to pick a character. So anyway, what else is on here that I want to show you? Let's see, Clay Fighter. What was about that game? I think it was just like one of the games that has an option menu. Yeah, that's what I want to show you, is that. So here, go to C, and where is Clay Fighter? Clay Fighter from 64. It's not here. I gotta go to the... See, that's weird. See, there's Clay Fighter on here, but I went to the C's and it wasn't there. So how do you find Clay Fighter? You have to go to the fighting games, I think. Oh, still won't let me show Clay Fighter. I don't know what's up. Okay, so now it's showing me the 3D games on here. Yeah, where's Clay Fighter? What the heck? Maybe it's just in the menu. I'm going to reset this thing, and then you guys also get to see what the intro looks like for it. Because I guess all the Pandora keys have a special intro for the little menu app they developed. There you go. That's how mine looks. Somebody else has a Pandora Treasures 3D, and they wrote in the comments of their video how to add games with the USB. I tried doing that. As you can see, the USB's in there, but I can't get the games to show up. I might have said that already, but here. All right, so when it starts off and it loads in this state. And like you could see, it shows you there's 220 pages. You're on the first one. And it shows you the directional joystick and what to press. And then you have a video of the game that you're selected in the right. So here's it does have Tekken 6, Tekken 5, Mortal Kombat. I think this is Mortal Kombat 8 or what is it, Mortal Kombat 7 or something. It has Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. This game kind of sucks because it has the same issue with the buttons being mapped incorrectly for the Street Fighter games. For the buttons, F is a high kick, C is a high punch, D is, I think, medium punch, A is jab, B is low kick, and F is medium kick. That's the way all the Street Fighter games are mapped, the buttons are. So that's one bad thing about these, is you can't change the buttons and they're mapped incorrectly. So you're supposed to have jab, medium, fierce, jab, medium, fierce. I'm sorry, light, medium, fierce for kick, and light, medium, fierce for punch. What was that? Well, punch on the top and kick on the bottom. Light, medium, fierce punch on the top, and light, medium, fierce kick on the bottom. But the way it's mapped incorrectly, the way I just described. So F would be high kick and C would be high punch. That's the way the buttons are mapped on here. So that kind of sucks, and you can't change them. I haven't gone through every single Street Fighter and seen if I could change it or not, but the ones that I tried, I couldn't. So here, I'm looking for Clay Fighter. What the heck? It's not, oh, here it is. All right, Sculptor's Cut. This is an N64 port. Graphics are still pretty good. And here you can go to options. And this is, I think, a problem with all the config button pages. So here, I go to weak punch, and it lets me pick. Won't let me set weak punch. Won't let me set whatever the medium punch is on Clay Fighter. But when I go to large punch, it lets me change that. So I could put high punch at the top. And same thing with the kick. As you can see, I wish the volume was lower, but I could still show you. The weak kick, you press any button. So you could pick 2 buttons in this game. That totally sucks. So it let me change the weak kick, but it only lets me use 1 button for it. Let's see, when I hit weak kick, I get nothing. And I don't want to set it that way, so I'm just going to reset it back to normal. And now I'll just put high punch. Won't let me pick it again. Stupid, huh? Why would you want that? You can change your kick though, and then exit. I'm gonna show you the gameplay. This game is really fun, and you can do all kinds of moves in it. I like picking the blob. I'm a human being. He's fun. He's got a ton of moves. He turns into everything you can think of. But as you can see, you're gonna use 2 buttons out of all 6. So why would you get the new one with the 8 buttons when you can't even use all 8 buttons in one of these games? That brings up a good point, doesn't it? Horse kick. See, this button has no action. I keep pushing it and nothing's happening. This button has no action. I keep pushing it and nothing's happening. And then as you can see, this one's like a back button. And then you see. So I got 4 buttons to work on here. And I only was able to set up 1 in the config menu. So that's the problem with some of these games, is the config buttons are messed up. The button config is messed up. You can't change any of the buttons, and they're mapped incorrectly, or you can't use them all. Like, I'll show you Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. That has the same problem. Let's see. Again, the reason why I'm putting this video up is if anybody has this version of Pandora Key 7, please comment and let me know that you have it. I'd like to know what you think of it, and also if you know how to add games to it, because I've tried the tutorials on the YouTube videos that people commented on and the description. They wrote it in the description, but still I can't get games to show up on here. So please help me with the games and let me know what more is better about this Pandora Key 7 than the other Pandoras. I don't care if yours is not from 3A. I just want to know which ones are good. I like the arcade box super. That's got a save in it. I'm thinking about getting one now just because it has save. I don't think the ones from 3A have a save, and this one doesn't have a save, even though it's not from 3A either, apparently. So that part of it is not good. So you got to sit here and just drag it out on some of these games. I was able to play Double Dragon and beat it like in 20 minutes. But right when I beat it, I like went through a door, and then the game just played the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and then the game just froze into like a glitched screen, and I had to just reset the whole console. I couldn't press the 2 buttons to get the menu to come up or any of that. So what was I trying to show you guys on here? Oh yeah, Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. Where is that game? Here, Street Fighter EX. I think I made the point about the buttons, but some people want to see what games play on here and what games are good. And I think this is one of the best games. That's a PlayStation game. It's really, really good for a PlayStation game. And it's really fun to play, especially in the arcade. There's even EX plus Alpha 2. But I can't get that to work or add it to this console. So I wish somebody would make a video and tell me how to add games to Pandora Key 7. That's the reason for me making this video. So if somebody out there sees it, I'll be happy. The one that keeps resetting. I push start and it just brings me back to this screen. Look, I put it on a pillow to muffle the sound. Yeah, it's a good idea unless you want to tape up your Pandora key. I can't think of any other ways to lower the volume.
Street Fighter EX plus Alpha.
I'm pushing buttons and it's not letting me start. There we go. There we go. He's my favorite player in this game, but I hate the hurricane kicks. They're kind of fun, but they're hard with the joystick because you got to do it 3 times. By the 3rd time,
one, fight.
As you can see, this is the problem with this. Only 4 buttons work. So those 4 buttons work. C, D, A, B work, but E and F do not work. I will show you it more if you'd like to see it. Okay, see, I'm just pushing it and nothing's happening. So that's the bad thing about this game in particular and these systems overall. I would suspect the same problem occurs on other Pandoras. Please comment on the bottom. Let me know which Pandoras you have problems with buttons or have problems with games not playing, like I showed you the Street Fighter. Or if you see any glitches like that, let me know what games and what Pandora. I would be interested to know, because the quality testing on this product would be higher, but whoever put it out really didn't pay that much attention. Yeah, who would want all the Street Fighter games with the buttons mapped incorrectly? You got to change the way you play it. If you're good at Street Fighter, you can make the change, but it's still not fun because you sit there pushing one of the buttons thinking it's a medium or a jab, and it's a fierce, and it's just all over the place. So there you go. That's the bad thing about that game. And let's see. I think we could go back to the menu. I'll select it one more time and see if we could change the buttons, or if it even gives me a config. go to option. I go to button config. Okay. So yeah, I remember this. So it lets you set these 4 buttons, but the last 2 buttons it won't let you set up. So you can set it the way the arcade has high kick, which would be A, and then medium kick would be B, low kick would be that, but as you can see, there's no action with that button. So yeah, you're asked out on the 2 last buttons, which would be the jabs or the light kick for Street Fighter. The jab and the light kick button don't work or don't let you change the configs to set it up. So that's the bad thing about this system, is the buttons. They're mapped incorrectly, and for some games they don't work. They don't have all the buttons. On the regular Street Fighter 2 games, it does let you use all the buttons, but like it's an arcade port, so there's no config option for the buttons on those games. I really don't know if they have the NES version on here. I don't think it does. This one apparently can support N64 ROMs, PSP ROMs, PS1 ROMs. What else did people say? Dreamcast. I think those are the main ones. If there's any other ones, I'll probably look at the list later, but yeah, those are the main ones. And then someone said that they put MAME, M-A-M-E games on theirs. But apparently it's not called the same thing as mine. It's not called the Pandora Key 7. His is called the Pandora 3D Treasure, or Treasure 3D. And his screen, actually, I don't know what his screen looked like, but the guy that made the video that he commented on said he had a Pandora Key 7, but his video is different than mine. So I'm guessing they just changed this menu. I might have a newer version of the Pandora Key 7. But yeah, I don't know. There was a menu when I first turned this thing on that said 3D games, and I could select it. I don't know what happened to that menu, and I can't bring that menu up. The only menu I can bring up is pushing this start and coin. And it brings me back to this indexing mode menu that has everything listed in alphabetical order on the right, and then everything split up into categories on the left. But as you can see, not all the games are listed sometimes when you select it, like Clay Fighter. I tried to look it up, and it didn't show the first time I checked it. And it doesn't show now. So that's really weird. Oh, no, never mind. It's right there. There's Clay Fighter. Finally, it showed up. So it was like further down on the menu or something. I don't know why it's not showing up every time. That's really weird. That's another bad thing about this. Who would want that? So yeah, confusing stuff. And for the longest time, I couldn't find Final Fight because I guess it wasn't showing up on the menu. But apparently, all of a sudden, miraculously, it appeared there one day. I hope that's not common with this system. So, Fatal Fury 1 through 3. Okay, am I dreaming right now? So Final Fight is a FI title. And there's Final Star Force, but there's no Final Fight. See what I'm saying? I think the menus are just messed up. Like, it goes back to FI later down the menu. Yeah, see, it goes to FA. And so there's Final Fight. But yeah, that's one confusing thing about the menus is they're supposed to be split up in alphabetical order, but the alphabetical order messes up and is all scrambled when you actually select the damn thing. So that was stupid. But yeah, you want to see what happens with Street Fighter Alpha 2. It's really a bummer. So basically, I could find Street Fighter Alpha. Street Fighter Alpha 2. So here's Street Fighter Alpha 2. It shows a movie for what looks like Street Fighter Alpha 2. But then when you select it, the game that loads is Street Fighter Alpha 3. And there's no Street Fighter Alpha 3 on here. I don't understand why. At least in the menu there isn't. It's not listed as one of the alphas that you can play, but the Pandora's box, I guess, has Street Fighter Alpha 1 through 3, but it calls them Street Fighter 0, which was the name in Japan. But those are all ports of the Alpha title, and those are arcade versions. This looks like it's the Super Nintendo or PlayStation version. Yeah, it looks like it's like the PlayStation port of Alpha 3. This miraculously weird Street Fighter 2 Alpha 2 title that turns into Street Fighter 3 when you start it. It's not good, dude. Street Fighter 2 Alpha is missing from this system, which is, I would say it sucks because it's missing that title. That was kind of nice on the Pandora. They put it in twice. They put in the Japanese version, Street Fighter 0, 1 through 3, and then they gave you Street Fighter Alpha 1 through 3 too. So you got the Japanese version and the American version on one system. And I wish it had multiples of Alpha on here, but it doesn't. It has multiples of Street Fighter 2, Champion, Regular, Hyper Fighting, and Super. It has like 5 different versions of Super that I don't even want to get into because they're really hard. Disappointing trying to play them, and it's no saving, so you got to sit there and just tough it out and hurt your body while you're struggling at Street Fighter. And this thing can move a little bit when you get aggressive with it playing Street Fighter, so keep that in mind. These sticks may break. I heard some people's broke. I haven't even played Street Fighter 3 yet. That's not one of the Street Fighters I really play because the gameplay is so weird compared to Street Fighter 2. I mainly just like Street Fighter 2 and the alphas. X-Men vs. Street Fighter's on here. Capcom vs. Marvel and Capcom vs. Marvel 2's on here. I'm not going to show you those games because I'm going to end this video right now. But yeah, again, please, this is the Pandora Key 7 that I purchased from eBay. This is what the menu looks like. And this is what the menu looks like. As you can see, I'm trying to find somebody else that has the same one and knows how to add games to it. I've been trying to follow people's instructions for adding games to this using a USB. Apparently, you can open it up here where the screws are and take the top off. And on the motherboard, there's a micro SD card that you could use to add games onto a micro SD card. I haven't had the option of trying that yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't want to open this thing. It's from China and it's okay quality, but it looks like if it breaks, I don't know if I can find a Pandora tech. Where are you going to take it to and who's going to fix it for you if it breaks, right? And do you really want to send something back to China when it takes a month to get there? And then they tell you it hasn't come and you can't get your money back for another month. So I'm just going to keep it and maybe buy it, the better one that everyone else says is better. So yeah, comment on here if you have a Pandora key or box or arcade box or whatever you have. Comment on the video and tell me what you think of it. What's better about yours than mine? If you know about this Pandora Key 7, please tell me more about it. How do I put games on it? How do I mod it? What can I do? Can I add a save option? I don't think anyone's done that yet, but it would be nice. I wouldn't have to buy another one. So there you go. I'm ending this video now. I'll probably make another one. Let me know if you want me to make more videos. I don't know what you guys want me to do in the videos, but let me know. I'll try to get like a tripod or something and set up a regular camera and not use my cell phone so I can actually play the games and you can see me playing them if you want. Just comment on it if you want to see more of this Pandora Key 7. Comment on it. Let me know if you want to see what more games are on here. Best thing I could say is look at for Pandora Key 7 on eBay, and the latest listing for it should be the one. Or just remember there's 14 different styles of stick that you can get. I got the Dragon Ball Z one. It has a pretty nice layout. I like the art from it. I don't like how Vegeta's head is blocked by the joystick and Goku's face is blocked by this, but it's still got Trunks right here. Or it's got baby Trunks, or I still like it. It's alright. So let me know. Bye.